And we are live. Thank you so much, Katrina, for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing great, Danya. How are you?
Great. So one thing that we always mention at the beginning of these interviews is that everyone's Web3 journey is completely different. I wanted to invite you to tell us a bit about yourself. So how is Web3 treating you?
Web3 is stimulating me. I actually found Web3 thanks to Michelle Abbs and Web3 Equity here in Miami. It came through Refresh Miami, which is a fantastic organization here in Miami. And, I got a newsletter and I looked up their organization and there was an event giving women equity in tech. And I had just come off, I was a 25-year web developer, Web 2 developer. And, I had just done it and was getting a little bored.
Yeah, repetitive maybe.
Repetitive, the same thing over and over again. And I showed up to this event and just beyond the technology, I loved the community. It reminded me of when I got into web development, there was this thing called the internet and this thing called email, and we're never going to use email. What's that stupid thing? I started learning about blockchain and its applications. It was like I joined in like September of last year, and it was right before the whole like crypto winter and all of that. And so I actually am really glad that I found Web3 in the crypto winter, because to me, the people who are still here are the idealists and the realists and not so much into the hype.
Yeah. Katrina, we're really glad to have you here, Katrina. You are the public goods lead with ETHMiami, but you also have such a fascinating career. I find it quite impressive. It's not just an impressive career with web development, but also hacking, acting, producing. Like, you are a real life Barbie. And yeah, it's such an honor working with you. Yeah. So, how do you see like these different facets of your career, not just intersecting but also within Web3? How are they serving you?
Yeah, I think everything I do seems to be undefined. Like there's no linear path to where I want to go. So, acting, it's all feeling, it's all connecting the dots. Producing, I'm producing a film right now about a historical figure. She's a woman, she's a scientist, and it's all very chicken and egg. Like, okay, well, we've got the first part of the script, but then we need script development, and then we need this, and then we need that, and we need all these things, and you don't know how it's all going to fit together yet, but you can see the overall picture. And I think that that's Web3. We have ideas about where it's going and what the promise of it is, but no one yet can see the whole picture other than Vitalik. I mean, he seems to see the whole picture all the time.
Yeah.
But
that's superpower.
Yeah. Like I saw him speak at ETH Waterloo, and just the way his mind works is impressive. And he you can see that he has the whole architecture in his mind, which is amazing. But I think, and there are just amazing pioneers in this space that are willing to not know all the answers right now and to just keep refining and defining. what could be next.
Yeah. So before we dive into like hacking at ETHMiami, I have a question for you, which is how, I mean, you have all this experience and like this background in acting and producing. I wanted
Mhm.
to know, how do you see Web3 technologies affecting or improving, like influencing the future of entertainment and content creation? Because I think that's something that we are encountering on a daily basis. Um, I don't know, any projects that you're excited about?
Um, I mean, honestly, we hacked in Denver. You did an
Yeah,
amazing medical application that I think will be groundbreaking. And we did a crowdfunding application where you could, it was kind of like quadratic um,
yeah,
producing. So you could go on and crowdfund, and then there would be a team of people who could um, go and vote who would add extra. So you get your crowdfunding and then you add extra. And I just think that the governance of Web3, the way that it's open and the way that it's transparent, I think could be a really great thing. I think there could be some cool NFT applications. Like for instance, I think that when you are filming on location, you have to have certificates of insurance, and you get production insurance, and you get each thing you rent a camera, you rent camera equipment, you need a certificate of insurance, and you have to make sure that you get it for the location and you get it for everyone. I think it would be cool if you had an NFT that you could just show, this is my certificate of insurance, and then people check you in and check you out, and it would all, the record would all be there, and there would be no question. So I think that Web3 has so many applications for a lot of different industries, not just film, um, and medical. I think ZK, I think zero knowledge is going to be amazing. It's going to take a lot of work.
yeah. You mentioned a lot of cool solutions. Oh, I think I'm listening to myself. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, but I wanted to ask you. These are a lot of cool solutions, and um, you mentioned. I mean, we hacked together in Denver back in February and March. How do you think hacking actually helped you understand the blockchain ecosystem better? Because I think that's very important
um,
for everyone listening right now.
yeah, honestly, um, it was a challenge. I have to say, I coming in as a Web2 developer and jumping into Web3 in my first hackathon at Denver, which is a big hackathon. We did win a
It's
bounty.
massive.
It's massive. Um, Honestly, I think you just have to keep doing it. I think you just have to, um, like anything, try it, learn, fail, try again, learn, fail. Um, and what I always end up with when I get frustrated with something new is the gratitude of the people, having the people around me that I have around me, and the relationships that I've built, like you and Lana and Daphne, everybody, Randy at Sparks, and Andre and Silka, and I mean, we're building this team of people that care about their community and about society in general and the ecosystem, and just being good members of a community and supporting each other. And I think that really honestly, yeah, the technology is cool and it's challenging and it's fun, but I think it's the relationships that you build and the projects that you work on, and the just even the thought exercise of trying something that's never been done. That
You're
to me is exciting.
yeah, you're absolutely right, and you can hear me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think we are all looking for a place to fit in, either personally, professionally, and at the end of the day, finding these people in such a special place, specifically this space, the Web3 ecosystem, uh, and getting the opportunity to build this team is, I mean, it's absolutely amazing. And it kind of goes with my next question, because I know organizing an event such as ETHMiami, it's such a substantial undertaking, and you're leading the public goods team. I mean, I wanted to know what motivated you to get involved first of all, and at the end of the day, what is the most rewarding part of it?
Sure. So at ETH Denver, I stumbled into Regenlandia, and I was like, oh, this feels right. And so there's a section of Web3 called Refi,
Yeah.
and it's built on regenerative design. That right now it's mostly carbon credits, but it's anything that really stewards public goods, and looks for not only sustainability, but actually regenerative methodologies that will help foster healing of our ecosystem, our societies, and kind of rebalancing um, the 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 mechanisms of how our economies, our modern economies work, to include nature and people, and bring about more of a living economy. And I think that blockchain has just such a huge part to play. And I happened to be there when John Ellison of ReFi DAO was giving his keynote or presentation, and just the whole room, like you could see, just everybody just kind of came like moths to a flame. You could, and by the end of it, like I'm crying. I'm like, yes,
That's so
this is
cool.
so I drank the ReFi Kool-Aid, and I still feel like I don't fully understand it yet, but I am willing to be in a space where answers are not here yet, and but what is here is, again, the community and the will and the intention, and and I will also say the accountability,
Yeah.
because I have seen people in the refi space realize that things they were doing might not actually end up doing what they intended, and be like, oh, mea culpa, this isn't working, let's try this. And that's a really refreshing characteristic for people to have, because so often, especially, I'm sorry, in the tech world, there's the tendency to because you're always doing pitch decks, and you're always,
Yeah.
you're pitching projects, and you want to make it sound really great, and you want the funding, and you want all of this, but sometimes it's just not coming together the way that you want it, or something that you planned isn't working out, and so many people will just kind of sidestep it or put a shine on it when it
Yeah.
shouldn't.
Yeah, as
There's
anything in life, yeah, I mean, we have to set expectations, but it's also a learning process for everyone.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's really nice the earnestness, I think, is what I love so much about the
Yeah,
refi space is the dedication to the ideals.
yeah. So I actually, on top of that, I wanted to know, are there any, well, maybe a Web3 project, but specifically, are there any ETHMiami tracks that you find more, I mean, particularly inspiring or innovative?
Yeah.
We could keep talking about refi.
Yeah.
What sets refi apart in your eyes
Well,
compared to
I think
other?
I've already, yeah, I think I've already gone over it. We're gonna have hopefully some bounties that we have one project, Sylvie, that we may have bounties for people to go and catalog trees, things like that. There have been some really cool projects. The Miami verse here is AR, where you can visualize water levels that are going up and down, and like flood warnings, because here in Miami we're on the
Yeah,
front
that's
line
a risk.
of
Yeah,
of sea level rise. Yeah. Um, I also think the AI track is pretty interesting.
yeah, I'm very
Um,
excited about that one.
and I think AI also it could be an amazing tool, and will be an amazing tool for tracking climate change, and figuring out projections of perhaps different levers that we pull, what sort of impact each thing is going to have.
Yeah, yeah, so obviously, like the idea behind these tracks is to actually get to use these technologies to know how valuable they are for us as both technical and non-technical developers. And at the end of the day, it will come with its rewards, either the emotional reward of having built a project, but also maybe hopefully yeah, the bounties are
Yeah.
pretty important too.
Yeah,
uh,
and another thing that I want to do with the refi track is I've reached out to a few companies and projects to have one bounty where no matter, as long as you submit a project, you get a direct portion of whatever that bounty is. So if it's $1,000 and 100 people show up, you get $10. You get something. So if you submit a project, you get crypto. Done.
yeah, that's really cool.
And then yeah,
Yeah,
because
because you're
if
actually
you're
working on it.
participating, you're
Yeah,
working, and you should get something in return. So that's what I would like to see for the refi track. Um, and yeah, yeah, and I
yeah,
think
that's
I
really
think
cool.
also I would say to hackers, I mean, there are people who come and they're going to be rock stars. They're just going to mow through, show what they've got, kill it, right? And then there are going to be people who are just like, you know what, I have this stupid idea, but I think it could make a difference. And they do it, and it's the spark that starts something larger, but you don't see it until years later. So I think, just come and
Have
try
fun.
and have fun and contribute. And, I mean, meet a whole bunch of people that probably have ADD. Because I've met so many people, myself
Oh my
included.
god.
We're quick. I gotta say, Web3 is just like a quick thinking, imaginative space, and the connections that are formed are so fast, and we just understand each other so quickly.
The
It's
programming side is quite extreme. Yeah, so not a lot of us like have the patience for it. Like we have to be super organized, and yeah, some of us just want to go and network and have fun and get to actually see our ideas on paper,
and
right?
and I'm sorry, the networking is a lot of it. It's
Yeah.
it's it's learning to work with other people and develop ideas, and it's the social aspect of it is important as well, and not just the technical aspect of it.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds. I mean, I can't wait to meet every one of you.
Yay!
Yeah, so we were talking earlier about the challenges. I mean, we were talking specifically about refi, but I wanted to know, like, you're an advocate with Web3 equity. So yeah, I wanted to know what are some of the key like challenges that you have encountered, and how can we start to address them? Either like it doesn't have to be in a specific part of Web3, but
Mhm.
yeah, like how can we as developers and hackers and just people who are generally interested in Web3, how can we start to dive into that?
Yeah, for equity for women,
Yeah,
um, it's it starts with, I hate to say it, it starts with women, because really it starts with men. But
oh my god, yeah, it's a teamwork.
yeah, it's a teamwork. I think that, oh, it's so tough. Um, just give women a chance, and learn that women communicate a little differently. Um, gosh, I think people are missing out when they don't employ women, and they're looking for certain metrics, um, certain KPIs where oh, it's so hard to it's so hard.
Yeah,
It's so
because at the end of the day, like we don't want to put like it doesn't have to depend on gender, but at the end of the day, it kind of does. It is influenced by gender, and like that opens the door. Like it sets it up for
okay.
this
So
divide, right?
yes, and so what I will say is that there seems to be a lack of patience for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Um, that 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 if it doesn't prove out immediately that someone who hasn't been steeped in the culture of the tech startup, which a lot of women haven't been, because how many women are in tech startups? Like 7%, something. I mean, it's
I
bad.
think so.
So
Yeah,
if there are women who need a little time to get up to speed, or groups of people who haven't been included, and they need a little time to get up to speed in that ecosystem, there should be some leeway to learn, not only for them to learn, but for the companies themselves to learn about their employees, to
yeah,
learn about how their employees work. And this goes for neurodiversity, this goes for underrepresented populations, women, people of color, people with disabilities. I think companies are missing out so much because they're only looking at technical milestones. They're not looking at culture. And I think culture is so important. And when you have a good culture, you will have a good product.
you're so absolutely right. I couldn't agree with you more. Wow. I mean, chills. Literally chills.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, are there are there any areas like I don't want to ask about specific areas that need more diversity, but I think there are some areas like or projects in general where I mean we could explore and contribute. um I mean with Web3, I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah,
I mean,
so
I'm sorry. I think that sustainability, equity, and inclusion. I, whenever I go to a conference, I was in Cannes, the film festival, the film market, and I went to a sustainability panel, and I'm like, yeah, and they talked about sustainability in film. And then you go, I just think that there should be a sustainability panel for each and every industry. And people think that sustainability means no plastic, no but what they don't realize is the social
Aspect of
pillar.
it.
Yeah. When you include local populations in a diverse way, you actually take care of a lot of your sustainability problems. So it is not just ecology, it's humans, nature, and humans are nature. Hello.
Yeah.
Like, us in
Yeah, we
half,
are.
and our lungs look like broccoli or a tree.
Yeah.
We are nature. We happen to build structures, but that's the only difference. We have language.
Yeah, we
Which,
are part of the
no,
ecosystem.
I'm not convinced that language is necessarily a boon, because it can lead to misinformation and miscommunication. Whereas your body knows when someone's full of it. But
Yeah.
you can use pretty
There's
words.
that intuition.
You can use pretty
Yeah.
words to convince people otherwise, but eventually, your body's right.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, we have to approach technology, and in general, like technology in general, but specifically Web3, we have to approach it with a holistic approach. I mean, I think I repeated myself, but that's that's kind of the point.
Yeah. No, it is the point. I
Yes.
mean, what are we doing? I'm always confused when everything gets calculated only by monetary return, which is important, because you can't do anything in our society without money.
Yeah.
But what is the point of everything we do? Isn't it to make life better? Shouldn't every
It should
product
be.
make lives better? So, and then you go to like, well, who gets to decide, whatever. But I think in general, the most good possible is what we're looking for. Oh, I lost you. There you go.
Yeah, we're kind of sharing an office right now. I'm
No
sorry
worries.
for that.
It's the
So
modern
before we
world.
wrap up, I do have one last question for you. And yeah, like wanted to know, what are some of your, I mean, any personal goals or aspirations, but specifically any upcoming, any exciting news for you, or any exciting events that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, right now I am working locally a lot.
Okay, that's
You know,
exciting.
yeah, and my big thing is that I want to learn more about is it's a completely different podcast, but it's the Miyawaki method. It's about planting
Okay.
urban forests.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're putting your money where your mouth is. Like you're
Yeah.
talking about sustainability in all of your
Yeah,
aspects
and
of
I'm
your
working with
life.
a local organization on a sustainability management plan, and yeah, just and then I volunteer at a local garden, and I just want to see this, at least my little corner of the earth, as biodiverse, and that includes personalities. I would say I want to see biodiverse ecology around me and wherever I touch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I mean, at the end of the day, Miami is not only like super diverse, but also like it is the crypto. Like we are working on it to be the crypto hub of the United
Yeah.
States and the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're the gateway to a lot of places, and this city is very vibrant and full of just a huge mix of people, and it's so much fun.
Okay. Yeah. So I know you wanted to mention the Ignite the Future event with Sparks. Do you have more info about that that you wanted to, I mean, to share
Yeah.
with us?
Yeah, so Kevin Owaki will be joining us from Green Pill, and uh, they had their inaugural um, event in Paris, and we are event
Wow,
number 2 in the series. So I'm really
that's so
excited.
exciting.
I know.
That really is. Well, I mean, we have to share this information with everyone. We will be sharing this information through our communication channels, specifically Telegram. But also, we wanted to invite you to, for everyone that's listening, to DM us because at the end of every talk in the Road to Youth Miami series, we are having exclusive PO-ups. So please make sure to DM us ETHMiami PO-up so we can share it with you and you can mint it. And
Yay.
Katrina, I am really excited. I mean, it was a huge honor to talk with you, and I had a lovely time. So thank you from the bottom of
Danya,
my
thank
heart.
you so much. I can't wait to see you again in
I mean, it's like around a month now,
Miami.
so I can't wait.
So
Yeah.
excited.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to be ending the stream now. But if you have any questions for Katrina or for me, please make sure to send them through our Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Telegram. We are checking any communication channels to be there for you. So thank you so much. Have a lovely day. And thank you again, Katrina. Have a great day.
Bye, Danya. You too.